Welcome to the VisualCAM Quick Start tutorial series, brought to you by MecSoft. Hello everyone. Today we're going to be giving you a quick start in automatic feature machining. Automatic feature machining, or AFM, is a automated way of machining your parts from solid models, and we're going to show you how it works. Now, there's just two requirements for AFM. The first is that you have to have a solid model. It can be a closed polysurface model, or you can be a solid model that you imported from another CAD application or created. And the other is that you need to have a knowledge base created that has the definitions for each of the toolpaths that your part features contain. Now, VisualCAM ships with a knowledge base, a default knowledge base already, so you'll be able to use AFM right off the bat. So let's show you how it's done. What I've got on the screen here is a solid model, and I'm going to show you first the prerequisites, and then we're going to go ahead and do some AFM. So the first thing you need to do is make sure that you have a solid model. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into the CAM preferences. So we'll go to the machining browser and we'll select CAM preferences, and we'll go to the features section of the preferences dialog. Now here, there's a number of things you can do. You can set colors for features that are detected in your model. You can set the transparency for those features and how they're displayed. And you can also turn off some feature highlighting tips, and we'll show you those in a second. Now, to perform AFM, you need to have an automatic feature machining AFM knowledge base defined in your preferences. So we're going to go ahead and pick the File Open button, and if you go to the install path, the program data install path of VisualCAM, you will find a knowledge base file called defaultinch.vkb. Let's go ahead and open that, and that gets added to your defaults preferences dialog. So that's all we need to do there. Pick OK. Now we can go ahead and perform AFM on this solid model. Now let's go down to the Machining Objects browser at the bottom here, and we'll select the Features tab. Now there's two steps to performing AFM. The first is that you need to automatically detect your features. And you can perform automatic feature detection, or AFM, or you can perform interactive feature detection, or IFM. And for this, I'll show you both ways, but for this, to start off, we'll do the automatic feature detection. So if you look on the toolbar on the Features tab, you need to work your way from left to right. So here's the feature detection commands here, and automatic feature machining command. So just work away from left to right, and you'll be able to do some AFM. So let's go ahead and pick the automatic feature detection. VisualCAM analyzes the part and lists the features that you have in the part in the feature tree. And as you can see, I've got planar faces, prismatic pockets, open prismatic pockets and holes, etc. So we've got all the features detected, and if you want to learn a little bit about each feature, you can just highlight the cursor over it and it'll give you the name of the feature. And now that we have the features detected, now we can go straight to automatic feature machining. And what we'll do now is we'll select the features tree at the top so that all the features under it get analyzed, and we'll select the AFM button. So what you see that happened here is each of the features in our tree were analyzed, and machining operations for those features were extracted from our knowledge base and added to our machining job tree and generated automatically. Now, that's how fast it is. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you a little bit more about the toolbar in the Features tab and show you a little bit about how we got to this point with this particular model. So let's go ahead and we'll just delete our setup. So with all of our operations, we'll go ahead and for now we'll go ahead and delete our features also. So here's how we started here. So now instead of hitting automatic feature detection, we can go ahead and do interactive feature detection. And what you do now is the features are extracted based on a planar surface that you select. So let's go ahead and select a planar surface, and that surface is analyzed, and you'll see that the features just in that surface were determined. Okay, so we got a planar face feature, and we got some hole features and some chamfers. Now, if you want to just do this automatic feature machining on your interactive feature detection, you can go ahead and go straight to the AFM command, and it'll create operations based on the features that you have detected. Okay, so let's delete that, and let's delete our features again. And so what you can do now is you can tell which types of features that you want to be recognized. So you can go into the set filters for feature detection dialog, and it has a checkbox for each of the type of features that's supported. And you can, right now they're all checked, and we're detecting all the features that we can. And for the hole feature detection filters, you can use these to set your diameter range filters for hole detection. So now let's go ahead and detect all of our features again. So we have all of our features detected, and what you can do now is you can get a report on those features by selecting this icon here, and it lists all of your features in the features information dialog. The orientation, each orientation of your part that has a feature will be detected. So if you have a part that needs to be machined from more than one side, it'll detect all of the features from all sides of your part. That's in automatic feature detection, and gives you the feature type, the feature name that was assigned to it, and the feature parameters such as depth, diameters, things of that nature. And you can print this to get a feature list printed out. So let's talk a little bit about the knowledge base. And if you're familiar with previous versions of our knowledge base features, you'll be able to follow pretty much what I'm going to show you. If not, you can go back into the online help and learn more about knowledge bases. So this next button on the dialog, there's icon number 5. We're going to select Create Machining Knowledge Base for Milling Features. And if you want to get more information about any of these dialogs, just pick the Help button, and the help system will come up and show you documentation for each of the commands and buttons and how to use them. Okay, so basically we mentioned that your default knowledge base is defined in your CAM preferences. You can create additional knowledge bases, or you can edit the one that comes installed. So let's load our AFM knowledge base. This is the knowledge base that we assigned using the CAM preferences dialog, and you'll see that it has these features already defined in the knowledge base. So based on these features and these operation types, this is the toolpaths that were created automatically. So you can edit these, and for instance you can drag additional features over here if you want to machine these a little differently. So let's go ahead and close that. Now also, the next icon over on the toolbar is Create Machining Knowledge Base for Selected Hole Features. This one will was for milling features. This one is for hole features. Now for this one, you have to select a hole feature set or an individual hole feature in order to run this command. So we have a hole feature selected, and we're going to pick create machining knowledge base for selected hole feature. And this dialog allows you to assign operations for this particular hole feature. Now anytime in your when you perform AFM, the cross section of the hole features are analyzed, and when it finds an exact match of that cross section in your knowledge base, it will automatically perform the toolpath operations that you assign to that feature. So as you can see, we have a through hole with a chamfer at the top. This cross section shows you a preview here on the right. So let's go ahead and we'll drag over a center drill operation first, and then we'll do a standard drill, and then we'll do a chamfering operation at the top. So each one of these operations are now assigned to this particular feature. Now anytime that you, as I mentioned, anytime that when you perform AFM and it retrieves information from your knowledge base, it's based on the cross section of your whole feature, and if that matches, then it will assign these toolpaths to that feature. Okay, so let's cancel out of that. Now the next thing I want to talk about is, well, how do I set the rules for my knowledge base? So how does it know to grab this particular feature and assign this particular toolpath with these particular parameters to that particular feature? So let's go over to the K-Bases tab, and we're going to load the knowledge base that we have assigned in our CAM preferences. We'll select default inch and open that. So this is the knowledge base that we have defined, and if you look at it, you'll see that each operation type has a selection rules icon under it. So if you double click on that, you'll see that this particular operation is assigned to a feature. You can have a geometry based rule, but now you can also have feature based rules. So for this facing operation, we have assigned it to open prismatic pocket features. So anytime an open prismatic pocket is recognized as a feature, it is assigned the 2.5 axis facing operation toolpath. And you can see that for the other operations in our tree, we can go ahead and select rules for the pocketing. You'll see that it will, anytime it recognizes a prismatic pocket or a stepped pocket, it'll assign this toolpath operation to that feature. So let's go ahead and pick cancel there, and you'll see that the other icons in here defines the tool for this particular operation in knowledge base, the feeds and speeds, the clearance, all the parameters, everything is set in these operations. Now what happens if things change? Let's say after you set up your knowledge base, let's say that you want to change some parameters or change a tool or whatever. So let's go ahead and go back over to the tools tab. And also I want to mention here is that whenever we ran AFM, all of the tools that we needed were loaded into the part file. So let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and go over to the features tab. So here's our operations. Let's say, for instance, you want to change something in one of these operations. Okay, let's say that you want to change the step over for pocketing. So we just go into the pocketing operation, and we can change the tool here. We can change parameters. You can change it, for instance, if you don't want a high-speed pocketing cut pattern, let's say you just want an offset cut pattern, you can change that. You can change anything just the way you can for interactive feature machining. I know we're throwing out a lot of acronyms, but once you get the hang of this, you'll see that it's really easy to use. Okay, so let's say we change something here. So now we have an offset cut pattern instead of a high-speed cut pattern. And you can do that to any operation up here. You can change anything you want. So now, to get this back into our knowledge base, we'll just select our setup, we'll right-click, and we'll pick Save to Knowledge Base. And you can go ahead and select your default inch knowledge base and update that, or you can save it as a new knowledge base, however you want. Now, I mentioned interactive feature machining. We just did automated feature machining, or AFM. Let's talk about interactive feature machining. So let's go ahead and we'll delete those for now. So we'll leave our features, since you need to recognize your features regardless of whether you're going to do IFM or AFM. So for interactive feature machining, what you can do is you can go over here and select one of your features that say our prismatic pocket. Just right click on it and it'll display the tool paths that you can perform on this operation. And you can also perform AFM, and you have your knowledge bases here that you can select also. So you can select facing and perform a facing toolpath operation, change any of the parameters you want and generate, and that's how you do interactive feature machining. Well, that's it for now. Stay tuned for more videos, and we'll go into more detail on automatic feature detection, interactive feature detection, automatic feature machining, and interactive feature machining. For further assistance, you can visit the online help supplied with the program, or visit www.mecsoft.com for additional tutorials. Thank you.